the US Open has already delivered plenty of drama before the singles action has even fully taken center stage. Tennis legends and current superstars took to the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
On courts was actually a positive, and for Serena, obviously she has not been, she has not played on Arthur Ashe in about 4 or 5 years since her retirement, several years ago. So I think we haven't had much competitive tennis under their belts for Serena Williams, several years at the US Open, for Alcaraz, several months since his wrist injury earlier this year. So seeing him actually, in my opinion, thrive. They won a match actually, so that was even that was quite commendable. So I didn't expect him to go deep into the competition. I think it was just a means to, should I say, have some fitness, have some competitive match action before the real action starts on Sunday.
Okay. Alcaraz had not played since April, just like you said, because of injury. How much did that lack of competitive action affect his performance? And what does this mixed doubles appearance tell us about Alcaraz's readiness for the US Open singles competition?
Well, I think it was, honestly, my opinion, just a means to, say, boost some physical fitness and have some match action in his legs, and also test the wrist to see if there's any niggling, maybe weakness in the wrist. But I feel at least he got that. He played 2 matches. Was able to come through those 2 matches unscathed. So this puts him in, I think, in a decent place. But I feel, talking about the singles action in general, this is more or less the most open singles event in years. Alcaraz is someone who, ideally, he should be the favorite. But the fact that he hasn't played in several months, I think that puts him in a tough spot. Sina is not on the draw because he's currently injured. Zverev has barely had any joy since getting to the Wimbledon final. So it's really open, and I feel even the American players, the American men, can have a say this time around. They are players who they've been, I think, under the radar for several years, but with the current state of things of play on the men's tour right now, they have a chance to actually have their first singles champion since 2003.
Okay, then. We'll be looking forward to that because, Coco Gauff even made a comment regarding that, talking about how both the US men and women's tennis stars are doing much better. But we also saw another major upset with Novak Djokovic and Aryna Sabalenka losing their opening match. Are the mixed doubles becoming increasingly unpredictable because of the shortened format?
Well, I think significantly. So considering that, I didn't expect them to go deep. Honestly, I had more hopes on Alcaraz and Serena to even have a deeper run than Djokovic and Sabalenka based on their momentum and form heading into this one. So obviously, look, the main action is the singles. Mixed doubles is just, should I say, them freestyling, to use a Nigerian word. So the real action, in my opinion, is the singles action that starts on Sunday.
Okay, now, so looking ahead to the singles US Open, who are the players we should be watching most closely after these mixed doubles surprises?
Well, on the men's tour, based on the momentum and the form heading into the US Open, Nakashima has really impressed. Lenatien has also done well. The likes of Felix Auger-Aliassime, they are always there or thereabouts. Ben Shelton, this is a huge chance for him. This is, I think, is the one I'm backing to have the deepest run among the Americans. He's someone who he won in Montreal, defended this title from last year. Fine, he had an early exit in Cincinnati, but I feel that the short turnaround was played against him. So I feel those players are on the men's tour and likes of Rafael Horda as well, and even João Fonseca. They can have a say on the men's tour. On the women's tour, I think since winning the title in Miami in March, so that's about 4 or 5 months of her not playing as well as she normally can. Recently, she has been so error prone. At her best, she's someone who she hits her ground strokes really well. She can even mix things up with the occasional drop shots, but right now she is not playing as well as she can. So it's open. Gauff just won in Cincinnati. Swiatek also claimed the title in Canada, and we've seen Jessie Pegula make 2 finals in Cincinnati and Washington. So I feel the women's tour, it's really open, and this promises excitement. So for the first time, usually you would back Sabalenka to win the title, but based on her current form, based on momentum, which she has little of. I think on the women's draw, we might see some really cool shocks, and we might see a difference winner this time after Sabalenka won 2 years in a row.
All right, then you heard it right there from our tennis expert, Seye Omidiora, saying that the US Open is going to give you more excitement. Let's not forget that US Open ends on the 14th of September. So for tennis lovers, make sure to keep up to date with the tournament. And obviously, we'll be having Seye on subsequent editions to speak about the progression of the US Open. Seye, it's always a pleasure doing this with you. Do enjoy the rest of your day.